If you come back one Friday and she said, because I want to go.
If anybody has money to turn in, we're taking it back here. Jason's still there? Oh, really?
No, did it?
A good day.
Okay, we're gonna get started here in just a couple of minutes so that we can kind of get to our hour. I know you guys are in the lunch hour. We're probably gonna have a few people straggling and that's okay. Hope everyone got a chance to get something to eat. Really good lunch today provided by the Solos. Let me, grab my. Okay, people sign these back. Oh, really?
That's it.
Okay, we'll get started. Thank you for coming today. We always appreciate you taking some time out of your day to come to our team captain meeting. As you know, we have these meetings once a month, noon. We have a 3:30 meeting, which is supposed to be faculty, staff, and teachers come to, and then we have a meeting as well here at 5:30. If you don't know me, my name is MJ Clazon. I'm the event lead, Power Relay. Bernadette is our co-lead, who will be taking over the reins next year. And of course, Becky Rowe, our community manager. Ed Smith, who is our social media online representative, and also listed Maria Lights, our ACS student representative. So, in case you're not sure where you're at, and if you're in the wrong class, we're at the team captain meeting here, or Relay for Life with Chairman Pat. Got a pretty full agenda today. Of course, I always want to welcome everyone. I put up here that we're going to welcome our guests. We don't have any. I was told we were, we don't. I think we're going to have a guest at our 5:30 meeting. So if you want to come back to the 5:30 meeting, you can be our guest. The new community manager would really polite. They like to bring them down to Terrebonne Parish when they first get started so that they can see how we do things here, so that when they get out into their communities, they can take some of that information and help their agency grow as we grow over the last few years. You should know our theme by now. If you don't, it's Hope on the Big Screen. Lights, camera, Terrebonne takes action. I've already seen a lot of campsite selection forms coming in. People getting pretty creative with some of their ideas about movies and things like that. The three fundamental building blocks of our event are bring the people, build the fund the mission. So we know we get people to our event, get people engaged, get teams and participants engaged. Then we make it a fun event, although impactful. Then we'll fund the mission. It all ties together. So we'll move to that. And it's time to get down to the nuts and bolts of the event. I mean, I know we're in February, but April is right around the corner. So this is when we start talking specifics about logistics and production and answering your questions, especially if you are a new team captain. Do we have any new team captains? Two. Awesome. Well, don't feel like you can't ask questions. Hopefully you're not feeling overwhelmed. Hopefully you're getting any type of mentorship that you need. If you're not, it's Bernadette's fault. If you're getting everything you need, then I did a great job. Right? So,
If you make us money, I'll take it because I'm getting bored.
so we'll talk about that, and then we also have our mission rules, which we like to infuse in each of our meetings. And in today's lunch sponsor, you guys, was Rotolo. They did a great job with the chicken feta cheese and the salad. So we always like to thank our sponsors. All right, any questions so far? All right, you'll have some trust. So when we talk about bringing the people, where are we today? As of this morning, we already had 83 teams registered, and that's phenomenal. Thank y'all so much for getting registered. We have 1,068 participants. We had a big push a couple weeks ago called Pack the Track Challenge. You probably saw a lot of blitzes on that, and we got people really signing up. We thought we had a good shot at winning Mid-South Division Challenge. They worked it off of percentages, and we didn't win. But that's okay. We came pretty darn close. And I'm not done with this yet. That's the way it works. But anyway, we did a great job. When we started this challenge, we were at 618 people registered. So in 1 week, we had 400 something people. So 444, I think, was the final number. So we did a phenomenal job, and I think we should do this something for it. But we always agree to get Terrebonne Parish. We don't like losing. So if you're having any problems, especially your new team captains, registering any of your participants or getting the teams registered, you can email rflterrebonne@gmail.com. Ed monitors that email. He'll get back to you. He'll get you to the right. If there's anything, whether it's registration, if you have a question about logistics, campsites, and you're just not sure, you can't remember MJ's crazy email address, or how to get in touch with Becky, that's your go-to point. That rflterrebonne@gmail gets a response really quickly. Ed gets it out, makes sure that whoever needs to address the issue, answer the question, gets it, and gets it to it. So don't hesitate at all. If you've got my contact information, you're more than welcome to call me, email me, Facebook me. I actually do that nowadays, so you can get it that way. Of course, we're always looking to see where we're at, dollars raised, right? So anytime you have money to turn in, just contact us. You can bring it to the team captain meetings, but if you can't make the meeting, get in touch with Joan Jones, our county chair at T. Baker Smith, or again, email us and say, hey, we had a fundraiser and I'd like to move this money along because number one, I don't want to hang on to it. And number two, I don't like the fact that our money posted on the website, our neighboring event is beating us by $2,000, and we don't like that. So get some money, post this, right? Right? Thibodeau's doing a really good job, by the way. They got a great event going. They're leading us, but they're not far. We're really surpassing them. We like to look through the competition, we really like. So any questions on this, on where we're at? So let's talk about building the fund. Bernadette's going to talk about these campsites, these different judging activities. This is where you kind of get your team going, your internal thing for your team, about the different types of contests that we have, which we changed the way we judged these last year in terms of logistically where you got judged, and it worked really, really well because we didn't get that bottleneck in front of the stage while we were waiting for pictures to be taken and the judging to be done. Actually, what we did last year is we took your photos on the back side of the track and we judged from those photos. They were immediately electronically sent to the judges, and we're gonna make sure we had a good picture of it. And so with this electronic age now that we're in, we don't have to slow our ceremonies down. We can get our pictures, judges can sit there and they can look at it and do their judging. We'll probably do the same thing. But I'll turn it over to Bernadette.
Guess what? I proofread the whole PowerPoint and totally forgot about the t-shirt judging contest.
It was on there, I think you deleted it.
I did.
Yeah.
It's gonna blame it on me anyway. If your team does design a t-shirt, you will turn in get one extra t-shirt. You can turn it in bank night so that we can give it to the judges and we'll get it back to you relay night, or you can choose to donate it and we'll give it to some needy organization, probably the Haven or Beautiful Beginnings or something like that. So like MJ said, we have campsite judging. That the judges do actually walk around to the campsite. Banner judging, we're gonna take the pictures again. Food judging, we have not narrowed it down to which items yet, but you can bet it's gonna be a dessert and appetizer. So we'll just, we'll let you know more at the, definitely at the next meeting. Live auction, minimum of $100 value. Y'all, this year, we're gonna just have to turn the prize back to you if it's not worth $100, and you can auction it off with 10 or raffle it off with 10 or something like that. Minimum of $100 prize, one prize per team. Okay, because the auction takes up a lot of time at our event, and our events are being packed with other activities. So we're gonna have t-shirt judging, campsite judging, food judging, and banner judging. And other activities, there's photos we're working on.
I think she doesn't know.
She doesn't know because all the people didn't know yet.
So it's really a lot of fun. You really want to get engaged in the night of the relay to participate in all these things. Again, it's competitive, it's fun, it kind of gives your teams something to get more involved with rather than just, whatever your goods are that you're selling, although that can be time consuming in itself, depending on what you do. But it kind of keeps them engaged, it keeps them involved. So we like to see everybody participating in all the different activities. Any questions on any of those activities? There's no particular banner size, style, whatever works for you, it's fine. Campsite judging is awesome. We love to see campsites decorated. So that's pretty cool. One thing I did forget to mention at the beginning, we talked about the 3 different meetings that we have on our Team Captain's Day. If you cannot make a meeting and you're stuck at your office, I saw Ed adjusting the camera. You can see this meeting live on Google Plus. So if you can't make a meeting, you want to know what's going on, just go on Google Live. You're going to see me half the time because I walk back and forth and the camera doesn't follow me. So you can't sit still when I talk. So don't worry about that as long as you can see and hear what's going on. Ceremony updates. This is something new. If you haven't heard already, we finalized the decision on what we're going to call a soft opening for our event. Our event typically opening ceremony is at 5 p.m. and it's still going to be that way. But what we have found in the past is the teams are ready, but before 5 o'clock, our track is full. We have thousands of people there. And people just aren't quite ready for that opening event and they have food they want to sell, but they're not sure they should start selling it. Can I sell my raffle tickets yet? All of those things. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called a soft opening at 3 o'clock. So basically we're saying be ready to start doing whatever it is you do in your campsite by 3 o'clock. We're gonna have some music, some entertainment going. But let me warn you, and we'll talk more about that as we get into the business. This is also going to push the time back in which you have to be set up and ready by a little bit. So this is an intentional thing, y'all. If we try to do our opening ceremony at 5 o'clock and make it an impactful ceremony that everybody can take part in, we can't have campsites setting up at 4. Logistically, it's just a nightmare. Our event's too large. So by having a soft opening at 3, and we say you have to be set up and out, ready to go by 2, then it kind of forces people to get there early, get set up, and it also gives us, because we're just really nice people, some leniency in case you do get there early. You're shooting for 2, and you get there at 3, you're okay. But if we're shooting for 4, you get there at 5, and we're trying to start up, it's not good. It's just not good. So, you just want to try to just keep in your mind, get with your teams and say, guys, we got to be ready by 3 o'clock. Whatever that takes. Whatever that takes. Like I said, we can work with that. Our opening ceremony will be at 5 o'clock. We have some great things planned for that. Our survivor ceremony and lap is at 7. Our luminary ceremony is at 9. And the reason I continue to remind teams of these ceremonies is because, once again, you get so busy in your tent, in your campsite, with selling your goods and all the different activities. We really want you to participate in these ceremonies, because that's really what the event's all about. You know, it's definitely about fundraising, no doubt about that. It's definitely about having fun. But the reason we relay and why we're here are connected into these ceremonies. Okay, so I just don't want you to miss out. So, you know, when you get your little flyer, you have to write it up so long on your clock, on your I am pointing my phone, by the way, not along with your place. On your phone, to remind you of these ceremonies. Do whatever you got to do so you can participate and be available for it. And then we're going to have our closing ceremony at midnight. Our events officially end at 1. So we'll do a closing ceremony at midnight. Okay? Any questions on that? All right, let's get to the fun stuff. Fund the mission. We're definitely well on our way. We've closed it, as of this morning, $88,960. For that, you guys need to be trouble. When we're talking about fundraising and raising money, we need to talk about accounting and accountability. And especially for new team captains. And how do I handle my money? And can I do this? And can I do that? Should I do this? Shouldn't I do that? And this is not by any means, this is an information for you only type of thing. So one thing that you want to do is make sure that funds are made out, checks are made out, that are made out to the American Cancer Society, right? Or Relay for Life. Cash, give receipts, make sure people are accountable. It's really, really highly frowned upon to take and collect money and put it into an account, especially a personal account, and then write a check out of your personal account. I know we don't do that intentionally to fool anybody, but really at the end of the day, when you write that check out your personal account, you get credit for that on your taxes. It's typically money laundering in a weird kind of way. I don't know if anybody with AC that is involved with Relay that's ever gone to prison yet or want money laundering. I don't want it to be one of us. So, but just think, when you think of those terms, I'm giving you money. You take my money, you put it in your account, and you write a check, all of a sudden you get a tax write. Right, as a charity organization. So just be conscious of these things, and really, honestly, if you're never really sure, not sure, that's why I have an accounting team, and that's why we're here, to answer those questions for you. So don't overburden yourself with all this what I just said. Just it should make sense. And if you're not sure,
You don't carry it like this. I sell like a $100 box. I told them they could have to be like, that's
absolutely, absolutely. If it's made out to us, to Relay for Life or ACS, you're done. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, just again, just be careful with some of this. We've had some instances at other events that kind of got a little slack, so we don't want that. Now, let's talk about the real stuff. Upcoming fundraisers, what have you got going on? Or what have you done recently that you've seen some success? I know you guys have fundraisers. What's that? What did I what? Shut your mouth. What you got going on? I know you guys have upcoming, but the trivia night, February 27th. And it's gonna be at, she has flyers right there, and it's
White
at
Blue Rec Center, 6 p.m.
Bayou Blue Rec at 6 p.m. And I'm really disappointed because I found out 5 minutes ago I'll be in Birmingham.
Oh, and he was gonna go to the trivia contest and be a contestant.
No, it's a week.
He didn't meet last year.
It would be last year, so that's why I was going back. The food is really good. February 27th, which is a couple Saturdays from now. What else? Who else has got something going on fundraiser? What's that? Super Bowl pool, that's solid, right? Yeah. I think they should move the Super Bowl to March, so to quit interfering with March. What else? What y'all have going on? Somebody else have fundraising?
We started selling our raffle tickets. If anybody's interested, they're $1 piece or 6 for $5. We have a variety of prices.
A variety of products. Right. What else?
Have our old fashioned handshake in front of Walmart, which is
The what?
the United States.
Sorry,
The old fashioned handshake.
Handshake, old fashioned handshake, nobody does those anymore.
We
They're
do
really
it.
successful.
We're trying to get it around the holidays and not in the holidays.
Yeah.
Look for some friends, just like Walmart, sometimes they're cheap.
So, I'll tell you, just, they were talking about handshakes, and I don't know if the team that did it is here. There was a team last month that said they did, into your, pick up your change, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all did. There you go. What's that? $500 just told everybody, give us the change that's in your pocket, or in your car, or whatever, just your purse, empty your purse out. And they, yeah, $500 get everybody off and just empty their change. I asked if they weighed how much lint they got too. Got it in their pocket.
You'd be surprised though, I mean, that how many people are just pouring their pounds out to you, who don't have anything to do. I mean, we've done one every year, and we've come across it. One time we did like almost $200.
Wow.
Last year it was kind of slow, I think we were right up to $1,200. So, but you just never know. It's kind of boring with that time you said we want to ground. We normally do that in February.
Yeah, right now everybody's
There's kind
focused on Mardi Gras, you know, which is fine, I think. But we still need to relay. So yeah, little simple things like that. And I have something at the end of the presentation that'll throw some ideas as far as fundraising too, that I did this morning. And I did this, I think, last year, and I might have told y'all about it. We'll talk about that too. And it just never ceases to amaze me. It's just unbelievable. We'll talk about that. Who else has fundraising opportunities? Anything external that somebody can participate in? I know we do a lot of internal fundraising, which means we do it at our office and stuff like that.
We have a no tap bowling night on March 12th on both South
Okay.
Side.
March 12th, Bowl South, East Side, no tap.
Email that to Orfeld
Does
Terrebonne
ever,
so that they can post it.
definitely. Does everybody know what a no tap tournament is? It means you cheat, the strike is a 9. I love that tournament. It makes me look good. Yeah, it's fun, it's a lot of fun.
We have a blast.
They're a lot of fun.
Raised over $1,000.
Yeah, so, you know, the bowling alley charges so much, well, they charge so much a team and it gives so much back to those in the fundraising, and the rest just goes to the cost of the shoes, the lanes, or whatever. But it's a lot of fun. More teams you have participate. You bowl 3 rounds, I think it is, and it's high score win, so there's some cash if you want to, so. It is a lot of fun. And they sell it. What else? All right, so we need to get fundraising. I know we're focused on Mardi Gras. We just came off of Christmas, so we should be done. Dusted off. I don't know if y'all did. I finally picked up all my Christmas gifts yesterday. But you know, it's time to get fundraising because we're really going to need that momentum. Now's the time when we peak towards our event. And speaking of that, we have some new opportunities if you haven't heard. This is
Tell
for
them up here on the grass.
I just didn't put them together because I gotta put it back in the box. Our normal Luminary bag, $10, same as always. Either you can use it in memory of or we have new, this year in purple, there's a $20 level. And we had talked about kind of making this specifically for caregivers, but we were hoping we could get it priced right, so it'd be the same as the 10, and have purple significant to the caregivers, so we could get the pricing right, so it's still $20 level. You can do it either way, for a caregiver or someone who's lost, or someone who's surviving. Like, and then we have the gold, which is $30 level. These are really cool, really nice, kind of a foil, shiny. And we're kind of watching these. Again, we always watch our expenses, so we're kind of looking at how many of these you have sold. We have some stock, so don't be scared to sell. We can get them, but we don't have as many of these. We have these available. And even these, you still have to be conscious of, putting them out there and then not getting them back. And then we talked about this, and you probably heard of it.
Yeah.
This is aluminum. Now this is $100 level. These things are awesome. We've already sold several of these. It's the same price as an educational sign. And these are going to look awesome on the track. And if you buy them, of course, you can just add whatever you want to, pictures or get them drawn out and stuff like that. The back is plain. But they come in hope, relay, and cure.
So we can get this, I have one sold, but I wanted to see,
Uh-huh.
so you can take it with you, and when I pay for it, you take it, and then put whatever.
If you give it for you, can take it.
So it's gonna be exactly like that?
This is it. This is the actual.
I tell you what, $100, I think that's more personal than the educational sign.
Well, the educational signs come in really, really good when you have, maybe some corporate type sponsorship.
Yeah.
Businesses that just want to, or sponsorship that want to put a name out. But this, you're right, as far as being personal. And we haven't figured out how many candles it's gonna take to light this. But, it's gonna take more than one. But, these are awesome, they look really cool, and I've seen some of these decorated, painted, different colors. They're really good. So keep these in mind. All of these things that we just talked about, the 10 to 20 to 30 and $100, Luminary sales goes to your team total. There was a time back in the day when they didn't. It was separate, but now it all goes to your team total. So we're really, really excited about that. Sponsorship update. I'm gonna let Becky say, I'll sit here. If either one of y'all take us through where we're at on sponsorship update. No, I like to put them on the spot. They haven't prepared because they don't think I'm gonna ask them.
You want me to list, announce the sponsors that we're going?
Yeah, we'd like to recognize the sponsors that we currently have and talk about how sponsorship dollars as well help the team out, so.
All right, current sponsors, we have our United Vision Logistics. Walk-ons, the $5,000 sponsorship. Shamrock, $20,000. Baywater Drilling, $7,500. Pride Financial, $1,000. NREC, $500. Allstate, $500, and we have another Allstate office at $1,000. Williams, $2,500. Intercoastal Ready Mix, $2,500. NVI, $300. Acadia Ambulance, $2,500. Morris PA Bear, $5,000. South Louisiana Bank is in the stage sponsorship. Danos is doing payroll deduction. Hooters, we haven't heard back from them. Valero contacted Becky. They're interested, but they haven't put this in the amount yet. USI is going to pay the $600 Civic Center sponsorship. We picked up a new team, Blue Cliff College. They're working on graduation right now, so I don't know if they've registered or not yet.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
And then our 4 streets are taken. Oshner,
Oxford secured the street at 2,500, and then Baywater Drilling has their street again. Shamrock Energy Solutions, that's our presenting level sponsor, gets their street again, and then, A Fire, Seawall, EMT.
So again, you know, Shamrock is our presenting sponsor at the $20,000 level, as you heard. Really, really awesome returning sponsor. South Louisiana Bank, I don't know, this is 4 or 5 years straight that they have, you know, been our stage sponsor. The street sponsorship is something new, started last year, extremely successful, already sold out. Sponsorship can get really creative. We lost our parish sponsorship this year. The Chevron Parish Consolidated Government said that with the economy being the way it was, any type of sponsorship, which basically what they did is gave us a reduction on the rent at the Civic Center, because they don't give us these facilities. And they were $600 levels, well, they took it away, so the Civic Center had to add that $600 back to our invoice. USI picked that up and said, look, we'll take that $600 burden off of you as a sponsorship. So you get creative with that, and if you want to go and talk to anybody in your parish officials about why they're not giving relay for like $600, so because I already have. But when you talk about sponsorship, and remember, sponsorship as well as luminaries, as I talked about, goes to your team total. So if you generate a sponsor, it goes to your team money. And sponsorship levels can be different levels. And one opportunity that we opened up new again this year is the production sponsorship. We're looking for this to be a $1,000 sponsorship level. That's where United Vision came in and dedicated their $1,000 to production. We'll talk about that when we get into logistics. So why we need to continue to push production sponsorships because of some of the things we're going to attempt to do this year. But if you think, the reason I like Susan to read the names of sponsors is every time she does, it reminds me of somebody that I know that I didn't think about who might potentially be a sponsor, a bank, a finance company. You know, we always think big companies, you know, Shamrock, thank goodness for them. Danaos does related payday. Shamrock does related payday. So we finally have 2 companies doing that. But, you know, medical providers, other facilities, just anybody you can think of, oil and gas industry, which unfortunately right now is not the greatest, but it'll be back. So just continue to think about that when you think about sponsorship. And if you're not sure, if you're just not sure that we have a level that somebody's looking at, just again, contact us and tips.
How do you think my team earns a lot of money?
All right, any questions on all of these fundraising opportunities? Missed anything? Oh, new event recognition. After our last team captain meeting, before our leadership meeting, we found out that, you know, I can't find it. It's been checking to find it. I know where it's at. I didn't bring it with me. Our recognition banner and our certificate. But our event placed in the top 10 in the nation on per capita award, which means money raised for our population. We're one of the top 10 events with over 5,000 events in the country, Terrebonne parishes. And again, you guys need to. That's a tough award because we have a lot of small communities that have big events, big dollar events. And so that per capita calculates pretty high, and we've got a pretty good population in Terrebonne Parish. But top 10 in the nation, that's the thing that keeps coming back to me over and over again, and that's why I'm always so proud we tell people I'm a part of this event, is because they go, where y'all at? And they wait for me to say some high metro city, you know, big dollar city, Los Angeles, you know, or even New Orleans for that matter. And I say, we're Houma, Louisiana. Where? Look down at the bottom. And they say, y'all do what? I say, yes, we do. So I'm very, very proud of that, and I really, really do love going around telling people about that. Okay, now we get into the real cool stuff, logistics and production. So, as you can tell, logistics, all kind of things have to start coming together to make this event successful, right? one of the most important things that you want to know and that we would like to know is where will you be that night? So the campsite selection form is on the website. You can go to our website, you can download it, fill it out, turn it back in. Please do this as soon as you can. This is the beginning of that cycle. This is where we start figuring out all the little pieces and where they're going to go. You know where stages it is, the same way as it was last year. The event size might shrink just a little bit, and we'll close some of the gaps. But basically, if you were involved last year, what you saw is what you get this year. The entrance ways will be in the same place. Survivor tends to be in the same place. Stage, we're adding some other caveats to that which we'll talk about. So that form asks you those questions. It asks you, where would you like to be? Give you some choices. Well, if I can't be here, I can be here. It asks you if you are tied to a sponsor, because we always want to make sure that our sponsors get some recognition. It asks you, what are you doing that night? If you don't know yet, that's okay. But if you do know, put it on there. I'm selling hamburgers, I'm wrapping off a quilt, whatever it is you're doing. Kids' activities, that's important to know, so we put you in the kids' zone. So that we can create our brochure. Because remember last year, for the first time, we had a map of our event on a brochure that said, hey, if I want a hamburger, where do I go? Or if I'm looking for such and such a team, where are they? And the names, the street names, that's where all that evolved from, was we gave you an address. So you're at number 53 Baywater Drive. So we have 4 streets, we would like to get lost, right? So we need that information. All right, campsite setup begins Friday after lunch. Some of y'all are saying, so Renee puts my tent up Thursday. That's okay. That's still gonna happen. If you need to come Friday morning, that's okay. That's gonna happen. If you can't come until Saturday morning, that's okay. You can still do that. Look at the next one. 1 o'clock. You need to focus. Remember that 3 o'clock soft opening we talked about? Please do everything you can to be in there, set up. Even if you haven't brought all you could, get your campsite set up, know where it's at, get your vehicle out the way, so that we can start pulling this event together. You know, last year that rain I know it wasn't a long event, maybe an hour, but it threw us off like you wouldn't believe it. So, really, really important. And remember, anything and everything we tell you is not written in stone if you just call us and let us help you. Don't surprise us. Please. If you know he's not going to be there, let us know. We will listen. Our logistics team is the most outgoing, helpful team that they can be, but we put them against the wall sometimes. So if you have problems, just contact us. Let us know. And we'll make it happen for you, best that we can. Campers, again, this year, we're allowing campers to come in. We'll do our best to get the camper as close behind your tent as possible. We run into issues, guys. Your tents are 10 feet wide or 20 feet wide, your camper's 40 feet long. And you want it this way. And the guy next to you has a camper, and this is 30 feet long, he's got a 10-foot spot. Eventually, you do the math. You know, we have campers on Barrel Street. But anyway, so we're gonna do our best to get you situated, but a camper is just a convenience that we allow our teams to bring in. There are events that you can't do that. There's no cost to you. So please, again, let us know on your campsite selection form. That's why we ask that question. Who are you bringing the camper? And if you're not, that's okay. And if you say no, and then you are, that's okay. What do you do? Let us know, right? Because all this planning goes into this big circle. Trash, again, last year we had our handle on trash. Finally got our trash boxes back. We had plenty of them. We had trash bags. Storm came in and they all went. We'll have them back. We'll have them back. Trash is important. We increased the amount of people that work picking up the trash. But it's important to you to help us collect that trash. Well, if that garbage thing's flowing over, we'll tie it up so people can quit. I don't know why people think that it is so important to take an extremely full garbage can and see that they can just tilt it. If I just lay it right here and it doesn't fall, then I'm okay. Not like the winds are gonna come blowing all over the place, but I walk to the next one to drop it in. They will, they'll balance that trash on the ties, let them do it. So help us with that, but we want to keep the event nice looking and stuff like that. If you are one of those ones, I know a lot of y'all are, that break down before our event is over, please be respectful of your neighbor. Be respectful of anything that's going on during the event. Quietly, if you have to go, we understand. It's a long day, it's a long night. I wish every one of y'all was with us when we shut down at 1 a.m. But you're not. I'm there. But anyway, be respectful. Quietly just wait. If you need some help, come find somebody in logistics. We'll do what we can help. I can crank up a four-wheeler. We're in the rural strip. We had some Polarises running around the track. That's an issue that we can take up with our logistics team. You know, that doesn't need to be on the track during the event either. Behind the scenes, all day long, I don't care. So, because it's interrupted, when we kids, people walking around, aren't paying attention. Now, wait for a four-wheeler to come up on us, so that's the last thing you expect. So, if you don't mind, if you go to break down, just do it respectfully and quietly. Absolutely. Now, this one I'm telling y'all we're going to stick by. On the inside circle and the track itself, because we always had the rule about the track. But we made some exceptions last couple of years on the people on the inside. I really need to park on the inside because whatever, look up to this trailer or whatever, causes problems. And they tell us, we're not going to move our vehicle, we don't have to be in our vehicle, it's going to stay put. Oh, and by the way, we're going to stay till the end. And sure enough, at 11 o'clock, I see headlights in the middle of the event. And I'm like, where are they going? Well, they decided they can't. So unless there's absolute reasons, such as we put an emergency vehicle on display, we put that little fire trailer on display, that's not going anywhere. It's there, it's part of the team. If there's no reason for it to be there, it's not going to be there. I'm sorry. This is about the only thing we're going to be really, really adamant about and not real helpful. So this information you need to bring back to your teams so that they understand that, so that they know it now instead of event day, right? Because all of this has to do with the quality of our event and the customer service experience, which we'll talk about right now. Our event gets a survey at the end of the year. You know, for 3 years running, we've been the top in the country, in the world, in customer service. Top in the world. You want to say country, but it's world. Terrebonne Parish, once again, the little Terrebonne Parish, outscores every event in the world in customer satisfaction experience. People would love to come to our event. The public comes to our event. That's where we raise our money. In 2015, they had a lot of trouble getting the scores out. We finally got the final report last week. And guess who's number one again? Us. Now I'll let you kind of know where you're at. The national average on a Relay for Life event from a customer service standpoint is about 71 to 74. Our Mid-South division is about a 72. If you are and I forget the name, if you're a top company and you're rated, you would fall in the 78 range, like a Target or I don't know, really top companies. You know where your event is? 91. 91. That's how much people love coming to our event. And that's why we have to continue to put these rules in place so that people continue to come back and enjoy this. Okay, any questions on logistics? In every meeting we get close to the event, we'll talk more about details on this, okay? All right, talk about production and then we'll give some prizes. All of our ceremonies have production built into it. This all started years ago where, let's have this idea. Remember we lifted the hope sign? That's kind of a production activity. Last year we did that kind of no one has ever done it before, luminary ceremony where we had the vision on the Civic Center wall and we had the fireworks. That's production. Well, we've layered more production into our event. One of the things we address every year, and we continue to address, is sound. We sat about 3 weeks ago with our production company and said, fix it. What's it gonna take? Fix it. No more excuses. We got a plan. We're gonna add some visuals this year. I'm just gonna tell you what our dream is. We have to raise the money to do it. The vision is to have the stage and have 2 huge screens. I think they're, 12 by 18 or whatever. One on each side of the stage, where anywhere from the event you can see what's going on the stage. You'll be able to see our sponsors constantly being scrolled through. When we do our Survivor lap this year, we're not going to sit up there and try to read those names. There's so many survivors that participate, thank God, in our event. But we can't play music, because if we play music, then nobody can hear the names. So it's kind of a mundane kind of thing, and we want it to be exciting and celebrate. So this year, our survivors names will scroll on those big screens, and we'll be able to play music and keep them pumped up and really celebrate the fact that they are our survivors. That's so important. That ceremony is struggle. So we're doing that. If we can get everything we want, again, this is the wish list, Santa, please. Toward the back of the event, we've added some more sound, some more speakers. We're thinking about adding another screen. And the thing here is, from a production standpoint, is if I can see it, I can hear it. I don't know why, but if I can see it, I can hear it. If I can't see it, I can't hear it. Kind of weird. So we think tying all these things together is going to make our event go to the next level. And the other cool thing about doing it on the stage is, if we do another production Luminar ceremony like we did last year, which I'm sure we will with the video, fireworks will be right behind us. So, then we have some other surprises that I can't tell you about. But, when I talk about production sponsor, if you can reach out to anybody that can get us at $1,000 level, or even any level of production sponsorship to go forward it, this will help us put these things on. These are costs to the event. And we want to be very, very good guardians of our dollars, because we want every penny going to research, to patient services, to finding the cure, and not to a big screen. So we want to underwrite that so that we can continue to score 91 on customer service and continue to rise to become, still maintain. By the way, number 2 event in Mid-South Division now.
Yeah.
Huh?
We would get more.
When we get there, number 1. That's where we're headed. And then we're in the top 20 in the nation in dollars rating. So guys, we're doing it now. Thanks to everything y'all do. I can never thank you enough. Our leadership team can't thank you enough. ACS can't thank you enough. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. So before we move on.
Well, I proofread the agenda and we skipped 3 minor important forms. Vicky gave each a little candy bag. The note on the candy bag is super important. Team Captain University.
Yes.
For that one.
This is candy.
Somebody gotta keep it in wrong.
So Saturday, February 13th, which is the Saturday after Mardi Gras, next Saturday, not the
You'll
Saturday
be
coming.
sober one.
You should have recovered and sobered up. We're going to do a Team Captain University. These were something that ACS used to do years ago and kind of got away from it, and you bring them back. And what this is kind of a Team Captain meeting on steroids. So it's really a learning mechanism where you're engaging with other events. So you get to share and network with team captains from all over the Southeast Division. And then you get full presenters. You don't have meetings up here just gathering. You got trainers that actually come in and teach fundraising techniques and teach mission delivery. Different breakouts sort of sessions. I really, really encourage you to sign up for this. It's a couple hours. It's going to be from 9 o'clock to 11 in New Orleans at the ACS office, right over River Road, right down the street to the west of Oshner. Right, really close. That's where the office is. And after the university, there's going to be a tour of the Hope Lodge, which is available. And I encourage you, if you've not been there, That's where your dollars go. That's where cancer patients and their caregivers get to stay in treatment at no charge. So encourage you to sign up for this. That's on the 13th, which is next Saturday at 9 o'clock.
So if you eat all the candy, save the record, okay?
Right.
You need that information.
All right, let's give some giveaways
How
away.
about online fundraising? There were 3 things you skipped.
I don't think you saw the rest of mine.
Okay. We're talking about online fundraising,
Oh,
or you want to get prizes? All right,
You
you
want
want
prizes? See, I'm prepared.
He's got me so confused.
This is your leader. I'm sure.
Yeah, but they can always vote me out and vote you back in.
Not in the list. All right, here we go. We're gonna do this. We're gonna have a couple more things to cover, so we'll do this first. Last 3 numbers, 026.
It's hard.
Oh, you good?
He gets a prize, and he gets to be state sponsor.
That's right. 058. Oh, there we go.
Sandy.
045. 046.
Maybe you out, Baby's got 1, oh, Baby's got 2 left, and Andy's got, oh, keep going, you got 5 to go.
029. Oh, 027. There we go.
Brand new
Oh,
team,
I can
that's
change
awesome.
it up in this little bitty.
Well, you could,
Usually that's the bucket.
the buckets in.
031.
Andy's got a fine call. The buckets in storage, you want to go get it?
047.
You know, he's over there.
028.
We each have 1 left, boss man.
One left.
Okay, Ed's got 1, I have 2 left, and Becky's out.
Yeah, it's high. 056. Moving.
1
Last one. 054.
Elena wants to see the purple hair winning that prize at the prom.
So do I. Just, you can't tell, don't believe it. All right, any questions on logistics and production? Try to move on real quick and get y'all out of here. In case you didn't know, if you didn't see it on Facebook, this is something that kind of came out. It kind of hit the news feeds a little late in our divisional calls, in our national calls. I didn't even realize this was coming. But today, actually, on our chapter is World Cancer Day. This is when we get asking everyone across the world. There's been a Facebook and media blitz about it. So just take a moment out of your day and think of someone that's been touched by cancer, you know, what you can do to make a difference. So we wanted to throw that up there just real quick and let you see that. And Maria has something real quick on ACST.
I know a lot of people might be confused on what ACS is, what ACSP is, I'm sorry. So I'm giving you, Bernadette's passing out right now, a little sheet that kind of explains what's the difference. What does ACSPN do and what does ACS, the American Cancer Society, do? So it tells you the difference between the two and what happens with your ACSPN money. Again, our goal for this year is to sign up 40 people for our event for ACSPN. And I have some awesome news that came from our ACSPN president. Recently, the U.S. trade representative met with 11 other trade ministers from different countries to sign a Trans-Pacific partnership, which will help for the first time to include provisions that protects the right of participating nations to adopt public health measures to reduce tobacco use and prevents tobacco companies from using actions to take against those measures taking place. So like around here, we know that we can go to a restaurant without having to smell the cigarette smoke and things like that while we're eating. Well, other countries are trying to put some legislation in place to help with the reduction of tobacco use in public places and things like that. So this will help with them being able to do it without the tobacco companies pushing roadblocks in their way. And another thing is on February 1st, President Obama announced that he plans to launch the National Cancer Moonshot, which will call for $1 billion in funding for specific cancer prevention and research initiatives intended to accelerate the progress with the finances that Congress has pushed. So he's behind an increase in the funding for cancer research and for possible cancer prevention. So if you hadn't heard that President Obama is pushing for that also. As always, if anyone is interested in joining ACST, it's a $10 membership for a year to be a part of the group. And if you don't get a chance to see me, Becky usually also has the forms with her. So please spread the word to your team that you would like to explain to them what it is so that they can possibly join so we can reach our 40 membership quota. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, awesome. And I always feel so bad because we had so much stuff to cover that tell Lori, okay, come on up, hurry up, I'm sorry. But I'm trying to limit you up to that hour, so maybe I'll just cut some of my stuff out to give her more time next time. All right, so our next team captain meeting is March 3rd. One date that's not up here, our survivors dinner is coming up on March 16th. It's at the Women of the World, just as it was last year. Please, if you know a survivor, make sure we have their information so that we get an invitation out to them, so that they can come and participate in this great event. It's March 16th at Women of the World. That's a Wednesday evening. It's an awesome event to celebrate our survivors. We feed them, we have a little entertainment, some music. I speak, which is always entertaining in of itself. So, and we usually have a guest speaker as well that's a lot better than me. So that's one thing that's not up here. Again, one more time. Questions before we kind of wrap this up?
Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
Yesterday, I just want to share something really inspirational with you guys, and it kind of put it into perspective for me yesterday. We were out purple blitzing in town yesterday, Bernadette, myself, and MJ's wife Dawn. We were on a scavenger hunt that was initiated to all the ACS staff, and we had to go to all these different places, and we got so many points for different things that we did in the scavenger hunt. And one of the things that we decided to do was, one of the things on the scavenger hunt was to get a local business to agree to advertise our event on their marquee. Like the month of April in our case. So we chose Mr. Robbins Donuts. Like out the box, we're like, whatever, they got a marquee on tunnel, let's just go over there. We'll eat a donut while we're there. So we go over there and we walk in and I ask to see the manager. The manager comes out from the back and I shake her hand and I introduce myself. And from behind the counter on the other side, a young lady comes out. And she says, did you say you're with the American Cancer Society? And I said, yeah, I sure did. And she goes, I'm a cancer survivor. She couldn't have been more than 18 years old. She became very emotional and she started thanking me for what we do and how we help save her life. She was a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma survivor. She showed Dawn and I where her port was, and she was just so appreciative and thankful. So I want to share that with you guys because without the community and the team captains and everybody that we have here in this room, we couldn't do what we do. And that's just a perfect example of somebody locally that felt that we helped save her life, which I thought was so touching. And I got her information, and I'm going to invite. She'll be invited to the survivors dinner now with the caregiver, and hopefully be at the event as well. And so, thank you all.
Thank you, Becky, for sharing.
Are they doing the marquee?
They are doing it.
How could they not? get a personal testimonial like that right in your own store, you know, I'm surprised they didn't write a check for a sponsor.
You guys say that I'm reaching lunch at the top, and actually we're taking some lunch today, they agreed to do lunch today,
Yep.
yesterday was just awesome.
All right, so thinking outside the box on your fundraiser, this is what I was telling you about earlier. Have you Googled fundraising? It's amazing. They had cow bingo. Now, I don't really get cow, and I don't know how you control it, but I know how it works. You probably have a good idea too. Same thing you do with the chickens on a much smaller scale. So you just, wherever they is their spot until one of the cow and chickens win. Got that? But listen, go do this. Think outside the box. We fundraise, we do the same things. I Googled this morning, and it's also Relay for Life fundraising. You can Google that. And what it is catered to small groups, small teams. And you know, if we have time, I'll throw it up there for you. You all have computers. So go do that, and it just gets you so excited. Because it's like, wow, what a great thing. And don't forget, online fundraising. RelayNation.org. RelayNation.org, another, which we're gonna start putting up here for you guys, another great source of all of this information, all in one place. You used to have all these different sites. Everything's bundled into RelayNation.org. Okay, so we did that. I want to throw this up there. You know I'm a quotes kind of guy. I read a quote every day before I start my day. If you always put limits on everything you do, be it physical or anything else, it spreads into your work and it spreads into your life. There are no limits. There are only plateaus. Sometimes we do. As long as we recognize them and we don't stay there, we'll continue to grow. So don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself personally. Don't limit yourself in your ACS fundraising. Don't limit yourself in your teams. And don't limit yourself on anything that you want to accomplish in your life. Thank y'all for coming today. See you in a month.
Anybody want to take a picture and tag a picture?
Oh, yeah, we
selfie for Royal King Day.
Thank you.
After that, it's just, so, what do you want? That's all.
I'll see you every Monday.
I didn't even read it.
Yeah.
I didn't put that. So it'd be like, just give us a letter. You lost. Okay. Oh, it's not what I was thinking. Yeah, I want to be.
Like I said, stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm on board, and I'm glad I'm back registered.
But, kind of easy, is another team was registered, it's not.
Well, yeah, yeah. That means that once you're ready, I'll get the email. All right, well, thank you.
Kenny, y'all need anything to sell? Want some lights in there, that's sell some money to my mission. I cannot give you that. Because what, I mean, it was.
But it was more information.
That's right.
But I can email it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so I message you or I can. Because I did the message, I want to do it this regular.
Okay, thank you.
I just,
I mentioned it.
I got 3 emails after that, all 3 emails.
oh, because of RFC out there, that's cool, work with that. Yes. Just let us know, we need to go talk to the team, and everything, let us know.
What we started So, yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
probably one.
All right, that's the same day as the team after university.
I know.
The presenters are back. You know what? Y'all can write down all your questions. And I'm gonna answer. Do it. All right, just let me know.
We were trying to get somewhere level 4 home, but if I have to do everybody. Thank you.
Did you like, check that out all this stuff? I'm sick. Yeah.
Get back down soon this afternoon.
Okay, 5:30.
Yep, so guys, teachers.
Yes, I've done that already.
Because no wonder what's gonna get up there, why you
You
could be a teacher.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you all.
Everything the white teacher.
We are working on a scavenger hunt. We're doing a demon night. Mom's Day out.
Yeah, one of these evenings.
Well, we need it.
See y'all later. Thank you.
We are doing raffles, this is something that we're gonna do an active event.
Well, my team does it, so our team is free event, main event, it's all events. So we start to sell right now. And is this one is a perfect revenue?
Yes.
All you need is name and phone numbers. If you don't need what they should do, we make a list of,
Want us to guys all, everybody's in their office, online, will be
right, everybody's selling something.
Yeah.
We do. Which is like tomorrow we have a Super Bowl lunch. So people look at the students, my students are in salad, and we pay, I don't know, $6, $7. I can't keep track, I just have to go to each. But anyway, you know, it's like. I don't know, they didn't say this is someone's donating. You know, one of our team members is donating this. You guys like this? Yeah. But you know, here, if I make a cake, I still do jambalaya cake.
Right.
You know, so you gotta be careful because then everybody's gonna claim they brought something, they brought one plate of pizza. You know, you gotta watch. People are watching their money. You can get it for a reason, not a easy stuff. Just at the beginning, that's fine. You know, you can take it out. And then the rest is just profit. The big ones work too. So if everyone wants to share for the colors, share some.
Yes.
Why was it slave? Why did you do it? Right.
And you know, you just get two, three people together and say, okay, I'm gonna do it on my license, I'm on my license.
Yeah.
And then it does it all here, one person on the website. Also, part of the things, and then not.
I mean, did you
Get on
Don't tell her she's free from me, so it's behavior, and that's like information on events. I'm just like, I Googled it, I'm like, because I was like, I knew something about movies. Do you have any questions? Because I usually just with the theme is, I don't know, slogan, I guess. That's my sister's talking about, I know something about movies. Or I put up photos, and at the end of the exclusion is half that money related to concert.
Yeah, I'll put it up like the Facebook page. Yeah.
So if I win, I get half of whatever it costs. I know it's movies, yeah, I usually like to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Office is first, it's like,
Sign up for the team, so,
yes.
and I wanted to tell all of the schools early.
Good luck, all you.
Okay.
All right, I'm just on my notes at all. It is very.
It wasn't too bad.
Well, I think that salad is loaded with onions, you can still see.
I need to eat. Okay, you move everything.
So you need to eat, or you need to tell me if you want to go somewhere, because I have to eat.
We'll go somewhere if you want. I don't have anything. We can let us have.
We got stuff upstairs, so we need that upstairs.
Tables and chairs.
But no, tables and chairs stay like this, but somewhere around here, we're gonna have boxes of shirts.
They're up back there. I'll take care of
Yeah, I'm putting Barbara to work. You know, every now and then, you got a senior who shows up, we should let him work.
You know what, Dr. Johnson, yes, I got much.
There's not a whole lot. A whole lot of people in this town.
I wanted you to look at it to see if it kind of makes sense. And I know because that was the biggest complaint I got about last year, that somebody said, I know it was time